is aquaponics farming? Well, aquaponics farming is a system of farming that borrows a lot of the good aspects from hydroponic farming and a lot of good aspects from aquaculture farming or fish farming and fuses them together into a system called aquaponics. Aquaponics systems use the waste produced by the fish as a fertilizer or nutrient for the plants that are growing in the system, and it works very, very well, and the plants grow very quickly and very strong and very clean. Now these systems, they vary in size. You can have a small one for a single plant, you can have one like this for your basement, you can have a garage full, you can have a greenhouse full, you can have a warehouse full. Sky's the limit. But they're all essentially the same. They all share the same components, and fundamentally they're all the same regardless of the size. They all have some sort of a reservoir for the fish and water. The fish waste and the water are then pumped up through a hose like this one into the grow bed. The plants in the grow bed are rooted in something called expanded clay pellets or hydroton pellets. These work really, really well in an aquaponics system. They're easy to find, they're affordable, and they're reusable. Now at this point, Mother Nature's got some really groovy stuff going on between the beneficial bacteria that have been developing in this grow bed and the fish water that we're sending up from the reservoir. But we'll save that for another video. For now, let's just keep talking about the way the system operates. So naturally, nutrient-rich fish water is being pumped up into our grow bed, and it's slowly filling it up. And as it does, all the roots from the plants in the grow bed are being submerged in this water and acting as a biological filter and soaking up all the nutrients and cleaning the water for the fish. Once the fish water has reached a certain level in the grow bed, a valve on the bottom of the table siphons fresh clean water back into the reservoir for the fish. And then the cycle starts over again. Earlier on in the video, I mentioned how all of these systems are basically the same and how all aquaponic systems basically work on the same fundamentals. This is a garden that I built a few years ago, and you'll see it's the same, but it's kind of different. We have a reservoir just like in the other garden. However, here you'll notice we have 3 smaller, deeper beds rather than one larger, shallow bed. And there's some advantages and disadvantages to that depending on what you're growing. We won't get into that in this video, but what I'm getting at is that these are essentially the same thing. It works exactly the same way. Water gets pumped up from the reservoir into the 3 beds. They fill up to a certain point, and then they flush back out fresh water into the reservoir for the fish. So it's exactly the same thing. I like to mention again the scalability of systems like this. To give you an idea, the one that I used as an example in the video is one that we built in our basement. And for a reservoir, I used a 160-gallon Rubbermaid horse trough that I bought at our local farm supply. And for the grow bed, I used a 4-foot by 4-foot by 6-inch deep grow bed that I got from the local hydroponics store. But let's say you don't have room for this. Let's say all you have is a sunny windowsill in your kitchen. Well, it's as easy as scaling things down. Rather than using a gigantic reservoir like the one we have, you can use a fishbowl. And rather than filling it with fish like we have, you can just put 1, maybe 2 fish in there. Rather than a 4-foot by 4-foot bed, you can scale that down to a single plant in a single pot. It all works the same. And it works the same scaling up as well. You could run 2 tables side by side. You could run 100 tables side by side. You can have hybrid systems where you have 2 different styles of growing all running off an aquaponics-based system. Imagine filling a warehouse with systems like this where you could grow premium pesticide-free food 365 days a year regardless of the weather. So there you have it, folks. I hope some of you learned the basics of how an aquaponics system works. I know we didn't touch on things like lights and ppm meters and reflective material and stuff like that, but we're saving some of that for our other videos. So if you enjoyed this one, check them out as well. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure and hit the like button and share with your friends. If you'd like to see future videos and future projects, subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon. Cheers.